going on, guys? Snaggy here, and it's time to preview State of Origin Game 2 2025 Optus Stadium. Let's go, boys. I'm so excited, but also so nervous because there's nothing I love more on God's green earth than the State of Origin decider. Game 3, everything on the line. And I have children, and I'm just really nervous this ain't going to go to it. So much, just doing all my prep for this video, doing all my prep, everything tells me New South Wales is going to win this thing. But I'm praying, and I'm letting you know now, I'm rooting for Queensland in this one because I want that decider. There's nothing better on earth. I also feel like, not that this, people are saying, this Origin doesn't feel huge. It feels huge to me. It always feels huge, but it has lacked a little spice. And if New South Wales go out here and blow this thing out, you know what I mean? It could be one of those like a little flat series. It's still awesome, but especially if you're a Blues fan. But I just want that spice of that Game 3. I'm really, really hoping it goes down to it. Having said that, at the end of the day, I just want an awesome game of footy. Refs to stay the hell out of it. Big contact. Awesome tries. Watching the best players in the world go at it, boys. I absolutely cannot wait. All right, boys, in this video, we'll go over the lineups, go over all our head-to-head stats, our picks, just our head-to-head pick, who we think is going to win this thing. And then also at the end, we'll go over all our bets as well. Before I do, make sure you drop your picks, who you think's going to win, and why. Don't just say Blues. Just tell me why they're going to win. Try scorers, man of the matches, all that stuff, boys. I really do want to see it. Now, all my bets on this one are actually on Dabble, guys. So if you do want to join Dabble, I've got them all up now. You can check them out. You can use code SNAG if you're not a member yet, or just use the link in the description down there. We'll be chatting during the game, and yeah, she's going to be spicy. I can't wait for this one, boys. I can't wait. And also, too, make sure you are subbed, guys. We are closing in on 12K, 11.5 at the moment. We're going to get there quickly. I can feel it. All right, boys. Now, I don't know if you can see behind me, but I'm actually, I've paused it. But I just watched State of Origin Game 1 to get a little feel for it, because when I watch it initially, you know, you're checking your bets, you're chatting, you're doing this, you know, and the nervousness of the game, you don't really get to watch it properly. So I got to sit back, I sat back, I grabbed me a little energy drink. Oh, there it is. And I enjoyed it. Took down some notes, had a little look-see. Now, I'm not making excuses for Queensland here for one sec. New South Wales is a better team and won. But actually watching the first 15 minutes, you know how we were sort of saying their pack sucked, they couldn't handle pain, blah, blah, blah. I was actually pretty impressed with it. And I'm not saying anything. I know Queensland fans will agree with me, New South Wales won't. But those penalties at the start really, really did ruffle them. It really actually did. Like their first contact in the first 15 minutes, New South Wales were clearly winning. In fact, average set distance over the first 10 minutes, 50 metres to 33. That's extremely dominant, but everything was there. It was just those couple of penalties I felt really took the sting out. And then 20 minutes in, the problem was New South Wales kept rolling and Queensland just dipped back down to what I would say, not State of Origin level. Probably they played as like a good finals team, you know, and it just wasn't enough there. But that was the main couple of takes I took out. The other main take I took out of it, though, was the kicking games were absolutely night and day. Like, night and day. Nathan Cleary's dropping it on a dime. Queensland kicking it into goal, all that sort of stuff. Just not as long, all that stuff. And that was a huge difference to me. So that was just a couple little takeaways I got from watching that first game again. And as I said, not watching highlights, like literally putting the game on and sitting there and watching it. There are a few things I took out of it. So let's get into it anyway. Let's just run through the team list really quick. We'll do Queensland first, and there's a lot more to talk about here than anywhere else. It's funny, the last few years when we're doing these videos, normally I'm talking about New South Wales and all their changes. This time I've got a lot to talk about for Queensland and not a whole heap to talk about for New South Wales. Then we'll get into all the stats and stuff like that, guys. All right. So we have Ponga, Coates, Toa, Holmes, Hammer, Munster, Dearden, Mo, Harry Grant, Tino, Cotter, Capewell, Liero, Kurt Mann on the bench, Lindsay Collin on the bench, Nanai on the bench, and Carrigan on the bench. Now, New South Wales, only a couple of force changes. So Moses out, Barnett out, Dylan Edwards, Tortor, Crichton, Latrell Mitchell, Zac Lomax, Jerome Luai, Nathan Cleary, Max King into the starting lineup, Robson, Payne Haas, Liam Martin, I was about to say Liam Henry then, Liam Martin, Angus Crichton, Isaiah Yeo, bench, Watson, Linu, Hudson, Stefano, Hikamanu comes on. Now, I'm going to actually pull up this graphic and I'll put it on the screen now, but it's actually how they should line up against each other, all right? Because this could be huge. So we have Holmes coming into centre and Hamaso to wing. Don't love it. And we have Toya Coates the same. We have Dearden playing half. Will he defend on the right side? This is a little bit of an issue too. Number one, I don't think this is how Billy's going to roll him out. I think he's going to pull a last-minute shifty. I don't know exactly what it is, but this is the stuff we have to work off, so it's all we can talk about. Cotter in at the second row, Capewell at second row, Liero at lock. There's just... What do you think, boys? What do you think? Whereas New South Wales pretty much is saying King comes into the front row and Cleary. And, well, Moses is actually up here, but just replace that with... So this graphic's from tryline.com. They just put it together for me. Like I said, obviously Moses is still there, so Luai will come into that spot where Mitchell Moses is. Now, just having a little look at this. Holmes can still get his work from centre. So I heard, I think it was Bloke in the bar, they were saying, I don't understand why Hamaso's on the wing. You know, Holmes is better at getting that work out of the back end. Holmes can still get it from centre. But yeah, it is definitely a kick target there. I don't think they're going to be kicking to Coates and Toya on that side. So I think a lot of the kicking's going to go to Hamaso on Lomax's side, and they're going to make Hammer take that first rank carry and get the ball rolling there. So very interesting. Very, very interesting, guys. Now let's talk about this one too. Cherry-Evans dropped Dearden in. Now look, I initially was of the thought that Cherry-Evans deserved a second chance, but after watching Cherry-Evans on the weekend and just watching this replay again, Billy made the right decision by putting in Dearden. Dearden can't play worse than Cherry-Evans is playing, in my opinion. So I think that's actually a massive W for Queensland without even seeing him play. He's just playing straight up better rugby league than Cherry-Evans is, period. Like I said, I don't think New South Wales pack was quite as badly beaten as everyone made out. It was beaten. I'm not saying it wasn't beaten. But there was plenty of times where there was a play in that first game where he ran a short side on the fourth and got tackled. And then Munster put in a crap kick. Because, you know what I mean, he was out of action because he had to play the ball on the fifth tackle. Just stuff like that. I was like, dude, what are you doing, man? Just silliness. I mean, it's not a huge thing, but it was just an accumulation. Like, it was the first time they had field position down there, and you get tackled on the fifth. Munster puts a kick in, it's too long, or takes it. They get a second tackle set, roll up to the 30-metre line, and then they put a good aggressive set in, force a knock-on by Val Holmes. You get what I mean? Like, it's just not good enough. Not state of origin level anyway. So I do like that. I do like Dearden in. Munster and the captaincy. Let's talk about that for a second. I do love this, sorta. Like, we don't know until it happens, right? Like, Munster's always been that guy who you can not hear his name called through the whole game, and then he tears you to shreds in the last 15 minutes. I think this will help him get more involved. You know, I think this will be like, you can't not touch the ball to the 65th minute if you're the captain, you know what I mean? So I do love it, but also Harry Grant's definitely more. I also just don't want him touching the ball all the time. Like, I want Dearden to take control. And Munster, I was about to say the Robin, but that's the wrong word, the ace in the hole. You know, your Uno reverse card. You know, whatever it is, like, I want to see Munster more like the trump card, whatever that may be, rather than the dominant sort of ball handler. So really interested to see how that plays out as well. Capewell's defence. Now, Capewell is missing tackles like crazy this year. But, look, I've been watching Warriors games he's absolutely clearing Liam Martin and Api Coruscant. Now, that is pretty damn high. But, look, I, as someone that's watched Warriors games very closely, there's missed tackles and there's missed tackles. A lot of these are, so if you actually watch, it happened a lot to the Bulldogs last year. They were just getting so many missed tackles, but they play quite compressed and they give you the edges, right? And then you can just watch Capewell they've got a sprint and Capewell will sort of ankle tap / slip off their legs, but he stops them and they shut down the play. If you actually look, Warriors aren't conceding many tries this year. They're one of the better defensive teams this year. And like I said, I've actually been so impressed with Kurt Capewell this year. Like, I thought he was on that decline train pretty hard, but I've been thoroughly impressed with him. All those Warriors games where he's missed tackles, I've never sat there and gone, man, Kurt Capewell needs to sort his defence out. You know, it's just one of these weird stats that pops up where he could get 3 or 4 a game. None of them were bad missed tackles. None of them led to a line break or a try or anything like that. But he ended up with 4 or 5 missed tackles. So it's alarming, but not, I wouldn't be like panic stations. Having said that, he will be up against Angus Crichton. That's terrifying. But look, he's good. I genuinely still think he's one of the better second rowers in the comp right now. Like, he's playing really, really good, man. Like, Warriors, like, the amount of times I've sat there after Warriors gone, damn, Kurt Capewell was great tonight. You know, it's been more often than not. So I'm not overly worried about that, but it is alarming if you are a Warriors fan. I mean, a Warriors fan, a Queensland fan. It's one of those ones where we probably be like, man, Kurt Capewell was bloody great, wasn't he? Or be like, damn, he got cooked. We really don't know, but yeah, it's definitely a concern. We're talking about the highest level of rugby league that can be played. Lack of speed through the middle. Look, I did want to address this one a little bit, just because if we look at this again, Liero, we got Fodawaker, Mo Fodawaker, Tino and Liero through the middle. They did definitely lack leg drive. They weren't slow through the middle. If we actually have a look at the play the ball speeds, they're pretty similar. Where were they? A little slower, 1/10 of a second overall, but nothing crazy worth, spilling milk over. But I would just love to see Nanai in there, Cotter at 13, or, like I've said this before, I'd go Paddy, Tino, Cotter at 13, and then I would have gone Nanai. Yeah, it's hard, but there's still not a lot of speed through the middle that Harry Grant can operate off, and Harry Grant needs speed. He needs skittled defences. Harry Grant does his best work when big nasty's on the field. He will skittle, leave 3 blokes on the ground, you're toast. I don't know who's going to do that. Very tough through the middle. Robson, tough. King, tough. Haas, tough. Yo, tough. Crichton, Martin. It's going to be hard to get a quick... I can't see too many of those guys getting quick play the balls against those guys. So that is super alarming. But like I said, I'm not convinced they're rolling out like this. I'm really not. Paddy to the bench. Again, I just sort of mentioned that. I don't agree with it. I think Paddy's the second best lock in the game. He has to be on, bro. I don't get... Maybe leaving him out of that first 20 minutes. Like, it's one of these ones, we'll have to wait and see. I don't hate it, but it's just, there just seem to be so many other options. All right, we need some punch off the bench. Why isn't Big Red there then? Why is Liero there? I don't even know how. I don't know how Liero made this team. I don't know how bad he's been playing. I'm surprised he's getting a run at the Melbourne Storm. To be fair, I'd be surprised how he's getting a run at the Sunshine Coast Falcons. He's been pretty damn mid. Billy obviously sees something there, man. He obviously works with the Melbourne Storm, sees something there that we're not seeing. And it might be something incredible that we're just missing, but I don't see it. I'm pretty sure most of us don't see it either. So, and then I've just sort of already mentioned this, Big Red not in the team. Like I said, he should be there for sure. Like, this bench to me looks... I like Nanai on the bench, but I like him start. I do love Kurt Mann there, but it just still doesn't... Like, a genuine utility, impact front rower, more of a workhorse, get you through a ton of minutes. I mean, Lindsay Collett's highlight reel over the last 2 years is him getting folded. Like, I don't think he's done much good stuff. Then Huddy Young, like, yeah, don't love it. Now, the centres, the Val Holmes and Hammer Switch, I've already sort of mentioned that. Don't love it, but I don't hate it. You know, like, if there happens to be a broken defensive line and they kick 2 Hammer, try time. So I don't mind it. But the big one is the kicking game, like the halves. Like, it with Moses out, it evens it up a lot. But I think Munster and Dearden... So when I was preparing for this video, I was having Moses here. So Moses and Cleary both nearly click for average 400 metres per game when they kick the ball, like in games, right? Whereas Dearden and Munster both average under 100. Now, I had a mate say, yeah, but that's because they're not their first choice kickers, long kickers at their club. Why, bro? Because they're not good long kickers. That's why they don't average as much. I know that is 100% true. They're not their first choice long kickers at their clubs for a reason, because they're not good long kickers. Now, Cleary is him and Moses was him as well. Jerome's is pretty okay, but it's still like, you know, not close to Moses's, but definitely a massive advantage for New South Wales. It really is. And that's really it. But like I've just mentioned, there's a lot of question marks. Like, it might be the right call, we just don't know. But like I said, just weighing it all up as a neutral, it's very, very New South Wales dominant heavy, just because there's so many question marks over the Queensland team. Now, on to Queensland, like, we don't have much to talk about. Max King, before State of Origin, when these names started getting floated for State of Origin, I was like, looks like a stopcat, good club player to me, I don't know. And then I started watching him a bit closer. Then I watched him in Origin. I'm like, mate, he's great. Is he paying Haas? Absolutely not. But will he get the job done? Could he do as good a job as Barnett? I don't think so. I'd still think Barnett, the team's a little strong with Barnett in the front row there. Don't hate it at all. So I love that. And then obviously that ripple effect of that is Stefano coming in. I thought I've always thought he's got pushed up the pecking order of top props in the game a little high, but still, I think he can do a job. And then Luai in, I've sort of already mentioned that. Look, Mitchell Moses Cleary and Luai, I'm not sure of the exact stat, but I'm pretty sure they have the best. In fact, I'm positive they have the best win rate of any halves combination of all time. He's been there, done that. He offers something a little different. They just slot in like nothing changed. They're going to click like Legos. Like, it's not going to be an issue at all. Like I said, I do feel it was a stronger team with Moses there. But just mostly for the kicking game. But I'm not worried even a little bit. Not even a little bit. All right, let's have a little look-see at some of these. We lost them. Where'd they bloody go? Is this it? Here we go. All right. Let's have a look at some of these stats. I've got some on my phone as well. I'll be reading out the seven. So, historically, after claiming Game 1 in Brisbane, the Blues have gone on to win 7 series. 85, 86, 93, 96, 97, 2003, 2014. They only lost 3, 82, 87 and 2017. It's been a while. New South Wales hold a 2-0 advantage as it matches played at Optus Stadium. Maroons winger Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow has scored 9 tries in 8 Origin matches. That's pretty damn impressive. Since Origin became a 3-game series in 1982, the state that has lost the first game has come back to win the series just 11 out of 42 times. Again, see what I'm saying? It's all sort of stacking up. It's really, really stacking up. But this is what I've got to say about this too. Now, for a long time, Queensland have always sort of pushed this narrative of we're the underdogs. And you're just like, bro, your team's got Greg Inglis, Cooper Cronk, Darren Lockyer, like Cam Smith. Like, you're not underdogs, bro. Stop trying to feed us that nonsense. You're not. You've literally got 5 possible future immortals in your team. Like, stop trying to tell us you're underdogs. They're genuine underdogs in this one. And that is scary if you are a New South Wales fan. Like, honestly, that is actually, they're genuinely, like, everyone's genuinely writing them off, including some Queensland fans. Like that used to always try and feed us how they were underdogs. And you're just sitting there going, you're not, mate. Like, you're not. It's not feeding it. You're seriously crazy. Well, let's have a look at some of these head-to-head, some of these bet insights and stuff. So, New South Wales head-to-head. Each of the last 7 Origin 2 matches have been won by the favourites, which is New South Wales. 7 of the last 10 Origin 2 matches have gone over the total match points, which is 41. The last 2 games at Optus Stadium have been very high scoring. I can put those up as well. Very, very high scoring. We'll have actually, here they are here, actually. No, that's not it. So this is Perth last year. Sorry, not last year. Is that 2022? Oh, so 38-6 and then 44-12. 44-12. Absolute hidings. So yeah, I like the overs, but not over. Like, it has to be over just high 30s, low 40s, guys. I wouldn't be going much over that. Latrell Mitchell has scored at least 1 try in 4 of his last 5 Origin appearances. Everyone took him last game, and he didn't hit. If you think he's still good to score one, take it. Like, he's not gonna. If Trell's given a genuine opportunity, he will score. Like, just so you know that. He just didn't really get a jam. Hammer has scored at least 1 try in 6 of 8 Origin appearances. Dylan Edwards has scored a try in each of New South Wales' last 2 wins as favourites. A lot of as favourites. Nanai has scored at least 1 try of his last 2 Origin 2 matches. Zac Lomax, 2 or more. Zac Lomax has scored 2 tries in each of New South Wales' last 2 Origin matches as favourite. He has, and I've got him in. Not for 2 or more though. New South Wales have covered the line in 4 of their last 5 Origin matches. All right, so last 5 games, guys. Let's just go through some of these insights here. So big wins, little wins, last 5 matches. New South Wales 1-12, 40%. New South Wales 13 plus, 40%. No draws. New South Wales no 1-12 losses, 113 plus loss. And Queensland no 1-12 wins, 113 plus, no draws, and 40%. 1-12 losses, 40%. 13 plus losses. That's crazy. That is crazy. The percentage of... No, I don't need that one. Total points. Okay, so the unders has hit 60% of the time. But, again, this is Optus Stadium. Bit of a flat track. I really feel like the second half's going to open up. I really do. Queensland score 40%. Score first 40% of the time in their matches. New South Wales 60%. I tell you what, I don't mind. Queensland to score first, New South Wales to win. I don't know what the odds are on that, but that could be pretty huge. All right, last 5 matches, average points scored, 15 Queensland, 20 New South Wales. Those numbers reversed for points conceded. Average winning margin, 28 points for Queensland. That was that 1 win against 12 men, remember. Average winning margin, 14 for New South Wales. Average losing margin, those numbers flipped. All right, average totals 36. I think we're going to get probably one more try than that. 42 points, I reckon, should be safe. Favourites record, last 5 games, 100% for New South Wales. Underdogs record, 66%. And then again, Queensland's one's 33% favourite record. And they haven't won as an underdog yet. All right, clashes at Optus Stadium, average 50 points. That is crazy. The average winning margin's 32 points. Take that with a grain of salt. Even if New South Wales pump, that's a tall task. It really will be. We don't need that one. Cool. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff there, guys. That is, yeah, pretty damn crazy stuff. All right, let's get to my bets, boys. Let's get to my picks, and then my bets. Look, there is just way. Okay, boys. In my preview before the first game, I've said this in multiple videos leading up, and why I've tipped Queensland in the past so heavily in the last sort of few years. Not last year, but the years before that. There's always all those question marks we talked about. Hamaso to the wing. This is move, that move. The team with the least amount of question marks normally wins. And that's why I honestly believe Queensland went on such a huge streak. They knew their team before the season started. I remember there was, during that 8-0 period, I remember them saying multiple times, Queensland's team is picked and it's round 2 or 3. And New South Wales, there's probably 1 or 2 blokes that are just locked in. Everyone else is just fighting for a spot, you know. And you're reacting rather than being like proactive, you know. So there's just so many goddamn question marks about kicking games from Dearden, Red not playing, Carrigan on the bench, you know, the missed tackles from Capewell, like I said, lack of speed through the middle. Like, there's just so many question marks. And Queensland, New South Wales, it's just, was it business as usual? Just, they were going to rock up, and it's alarming. And I tell you what, I don't think, if New South Wales do win this one, I don't think they'll go 8-0 or anything like that. But it's actually pretty alarming for Queensland. I think if this team wins handily again, all of a sudden we've got, 2 series down where the only game you could win was a game where there was a send-off. That was another stat too someone sent me. I think Queensland have only scored 3 tries against a 13-on-13 Queensland team, which is a New South Wales team, which is pretty crazy since game 1 last year. So they're really struggling to score points. I feel like this New South Wales team will gain bulk aura if they win. All of a sudden, you start looking at Crichton, one of the best of all time, or one of the best of all time. They're looking up, they're seeing Clearys, they're seeing Moses. You know what I mean? I'm really worried for New South Wales, for Queensland. Sorry, it could. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like they could really build an aura. Like, you know how, remember like when GI and all those guys started off the first 2 or 3 series, they didn't really have, but then you're rolling into the 4-0, and it's just like, you just see GI, it's just like you could see his aura, bro. You could see Cam Smith's aura. And it just became so intimidating for other teams. I can sort of feel that building, if that makes sense. Like, you're going, because they're all pretty damn young too. Like, next year, all these lads are still going to be under 30, minus Dylan Edwards. And I don't know, Max King's about 29 as well, but I don't think he'll be in the run-on anyway. But you catch my drift, right? Spence 25, Payne 25. It's pretty alarming. It's it could get ugly for them real quick. So, like I said, I really want Queensland to win this game. But I'm going New South Wales just because there's just too much. It's just too much. Too many question marks and just barely any question marks. It's like, even normally, okay, so Moses goes down. Normally a noob's coming in. Luai's coming in. He's won series. He's got the best winning percentage standing next to Nathan Cleary than anyone that's ever played the game. It's too smooth, bro. Like, even New South Wales hiccups or potholes are just, you know what I mean? Nothing. And that's what's concerning. So New South Wales should win. I think they should win relatively well. Now I've got my punts here, guys. So like I said, I always punt. I do one for each team. I'm just doing this for you guys. Just if I was because I know if I, Queensland guys aren't going to take my New South Wales. You can't put Latrell Mitchell in as a try scorer or whatever. You're not going to take New South Wales minus 28. So I do one each, and then I've got man of the matches as well. So my New South Wales Blues one, I have New South Wales minus 3.5. Like I said, they've won 30 plus their last 2 games. New South Wales Blues to win the second half by 4 or more points. So just so you know, in the second halves this year, at Optus Stadium, Blues won 20-0 and 30-0. So I've only given them a 4-point head start. Go bigger if you want. I do feel like the start could be a bit of an arm wrestle, and if New South Wales get on top, it will be in the second half. First half under 26.5. For that to hit, we just need a 12 to 15 minute arm wrestle at the start of the game. And Zac Lomax to score. He's always good. Now for the Maroons, it's not much how I just rattled off some data to backing up this stuff. This stuff is just feelings. This is the feelings bet because there's no data to back up New South Wales. But I genuinely believe in this bet. I'm not just slapping this down going, maybe. Maroons with a 12-point head start, 11.5-point head start. They're going to need a little head start more than likely. That just means that if they keep it close, it hits. Hammer, I do like him on the wing. If there is any broken play, he scores a lot anyway. If there is any broken play, I do think he can get one. That's where he's going to score. Val Holmes for 6 points. This is paying $7, by the way. This is crazy. If Queensland are going to win, he's going to need to kick everything, and he's going to need to, probably score. I think Queensland is going to need at least 18 points. Which it could be a try from him or it could be 3 conversions. But I actually do really like it. And Maroons to win the second half. I think they have to win the second half if they're going to win this game. So, more feeling than anything. But if, they can get on top and get in a roll in the second half and win it, this definitely could hit $7. $7, not bad at all. Boosted on Dabble. Now, man of the match. My first one is I've gone for $5. I've gone Nathan Cleary. Now, the reason why I've gone Nathan Cleary, I genuinely feel like this forward pack, after being embarrassed and humiliated for the last 2 weeks, will stand up. Now, if this pack does cancel out this pack, a really good kicking game from Nathan Cleary could get him the. So he's going to have for number one, he's going to have his hands on the ball more with Moses out. Jerome definitely normally takes a bit more of a back seat with the ball playing and kicking when Cleary's in the team. Also, the fact that he's been brought into the team, he's their second option. I don't think he's going to demand the ball over if that makes sense. So I think Cleary's going to get more ball, do the majority of the kicking, a couple of try assists and a 40-20, and the forward packs cancel each other out. I think Cleary gets it. And my next one, I go for one from each team as well. The value's always good enough. The next one is Cam Munster, $13. The reason I like this one is he's been given the captaincy. I think that's going to make him, like I mentioned earlier in the video, stand up from the start of the game rather than just in the last 15 minutes. But if Cam Munster jags the win at the end of the game, or I think he could sort of clinch it. And because he is a game breaker, that's more like, because he does have the captaincy, I think he's going to feel the extra responsibility and do all that sort of stuff. And also, again, if the forward packs cancel each other out, it's Munster is the one player that can play off the back foot. Munster is a half that can win you a game on the back foot. So I think him over Dearden. Dearden can't. Dearden's awesome, but if your forward pack's getting pumped, just watch, a few games this year, he'll throw a show and go get tackled, and he doesn't have much else. Whereas Munster can genuinely break a game open when the forward pack's behind the pump a little bit. So I like that as well. And that is it. They're the only ones we have there. Boom, that's it. New South Wales to win. Over 40 points. And you know the rest. Crazy, boys. If you made it this far, boys, you're an absolute legend. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Bring on State of Origin.